This guy's much worse than her? That's all well and good, but fuck this bitch. Fuck her 5 times. With a razor blade studded dildo. Fuck this girl. I'll see you in hell, Sarah, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you when I get there. Let's see.
$1 million from
Hold on, I got...
You want to know what's worse than stealing over $250,000 from non-for-profit veteran organizations? Oh, come here. Stealing millions of dollars from families who lost a loved one overseas. I can't believe I have to say this. Who would do such a thing? Who would take advantage of a family?
I don't know, and I don't know his name yet, and I haven't even seen his face, but if I was the judge in this case, death penalty. Death penalty is what you get expedited. Like, as soon as my fucking gavel hits that thing, like, doom, guilty, tomorrow. Bro, not next week, not next month, not next year, not 20 years from now. Fucking instant death is what you should get. But here we go.
Who lost a military member overseas. Kaz Crafty would. Crafty.
Is he an officer?
Stole $9.4 million from Gold Star families so he could benefit himself, make all that extra money. And he lost $3.4 million of it. What a turd. What a complete utter waste of human life. That should be sent down the river and turned into chum for sharks and Shark Week.
Nah. What's that machine called? This is almost like, it almost looks like probably like just like a big industrial shredder, probably. We should put him in that feet first.
Let's start off simple. What's a Gold Star family? A Gold Star family is a family that lost a service member overseas. Let's say that I've got a family of 5. Myself, a lady, and 3 kids. I get deployed overseas in Afghanistan or Iraq. I pass away over there during my deployments. My family members are now a Gold Star family. You'll see flags with a red border and a gold star inside of a field of white. Those families lost a service member overseas. If you see one of these hanging in somebody's front porch window, you know that their family has made the ultimate sacrifice. Now let's get into Crappy Crappy's sticky fingers and how he got those doo-doo hands on these unfortunate families' monies. When a service member passes away overseas, much like other jobs, there's insurance that gets involved. I know I had to sign up for SGLI before I went overseas just in case I passed away, my family would have enough money for my burial and just a little bit of spending cash. Shit, I was 19 and 21 when I was over there. It's not like I had a family. SGLI stands for Service Members Group Life Insurance. So everybody that went overseas got that. And that would cover about $100,000 should you have passed away, which would be given to your next of kin or family, your wife, kids, etc. Now on top of that, the Department of Veteran Affairs pays out a maximum
I think it's $500,000
of $500,000 to families who lost a service member overseas.
Yes.
Along with these funds, these military services usually offer some sort of financial...
I remember filling that shit out right before I deployed. It was a whole bunch of fucking paperwork, and I had to fill out like the military's version of a will, essentially, before I deployed. And I actually had to write out who I wanted to get severance or payment or money if I were to die in combat. And I believe I gave like 85% to my dad and like 10% to my mom, and then a small percentage to my sisters, and my wife at the time, who I hope is dead now. I gave her a whopping 1%. Maybe I knew subconsciously that she was just a fucking demon whore, and that's why I only gave her 1%, but I didn't tell her that I only gave her 1%, but that's what she would have gotten had I died. Literally, basically fucking nothing. So
financial middleman, a counselor, to help them manage these funds. Try and make them stretch out as long as they can and invest them. So it's not just a lump sum of money placed on your lap and you buy a car and that's it. Something that can last a while. At least subsidize some of the income that you lost now that your family member's dead. Daddy was making $60,000 a year. At least you can have this large sum of money that could be stretched out for the next 10 plus years with the right financial counseling. Now this is where Crappy Crappy steps in, because Crappy Crappy worked as a financial counselor for the Army's Survivor Outreach Service.
That's even worse.
A program which is overseen by the Casualty Assistance Office. Now, like any real piece of shit that has no soul but a black coal heart, Crappy Crappy saw this as an opportunity that he could take advantage of. All these...
Bro, you're a major. You're a major. Then again, you're in the reserves, but you're a major. Y'all all make decent money. If you're an officer, you make decent fucking money. Period. Just by being an officer. How much more money do you need, you greedy piece of shit? Jesus Christ. It's always about money, bro. Like, it's just always about money. I hate it. I really do. I can't stand money. Like, not in the sense that I don't want to make money, but like I just can't stand how much of your self-worth people put into money. Like, people put their self-worth into money and how much they can get and how much they have. Like, bro, there's more important things to life with fucking... You can't take it with you. You can't. Man, it just drives me fucking insane. Like, people's fucking egos and shit. Like,
poor widows and families with no daddy or mommy anymore could easily be taken advantage of financially for his gain. Wow. What a piece of shit. Crappy Crappy saw all these families with $500, $600, $400,000 in death benefits and thought, I need to get me some of that money. Ooh, how can I be the most horrible person in the entire world, capable of stealing tens and hundreds and millions of dollars from these family members who had a family member die for my own benefit?
Like for instance, I used to have a friend who was just always talking about money. Always. He's like, I make $70,000 a year. I make $78,000 a year. I make $78,000. Like, bro, no one cares. Literally, no one fucking cares. He defined his happiness. He let money define his happiness. He let money define his mood. He let money define his personality. And I was just like, bro, you may make $70,000 a year, but you're a fucking loser. Really. If that's the way you look at it, and that's the way that you define it, and that's the way that you let it rule your existence, you're a fucking loser. I don't care how much money you have, man. If you let it define you like that, and that is your only reason for motivation of life, then I just think you're a fucking loser. Like, it's just like, it's so fucking basic. It's such a basic fucking mentality. Like, you have nothing else in life except for the pursuit of fucking money. It's like politicians, bro, and they're like the most heartless, soulless fuckers on this planet. It's just a gross mentality, and it's cringe.
I think I know! He used his position as a financial counselor from these services to swindle money to his own personal firm. Let me break that down for you. Let's say that you work for, I don't know, Merrill Lynch investment firm, but you're also an Army reservist as an officer, and you work for the Casualty Assistance Office. Well, hey, families, here's how you invest your money that the Army would say is a wise investment. But instead of doing that, why don't I take all of your money and put it over here in my Merrill Lynch account that I work for Merrill Lynch with, that I get a commission on, and we'll just hope that things work out for you. I mean, I really don't give a shit. I want that commission money. Huh, commission money. That's strange. You mean that this fucking major, this piece of shit turd, who deserves to choke on a mile-long piece of elephant dung, said, I'm not only gonna take this money and put it in my own job, my civilian job's account, to have it grow and make me look good with Merrill Lynch, whatever financial company that he worked for. I forget. But I'm also gonna get money from that for myself because I brought you into my work. My work's gonna say, here's a $20,000 commission just for yourself for bringing us all that money. Oh, yes. Bathe in the sin. How much money do you think Crappy got?
This guy is like the Jordan Belfort of the army. Whereas I kind of respect Jordan Belfort way more than this fucking guy, because Jordan Belfort was just scamming the rich. He was scamming the elite. He was scamming big business. He was scamming Wall Street. He was scamming all the people at the top. Like, he started scamming like dumbasses and shit like that, but eventually he graduated to scamming people at the fucking top. And rich people scamming rich people, I could give a shit. But you, personally, scamming, that's just, you're a piece of shit. You're a gigantic piece of shit, and I hope you never get out of prison. You better be glad that I chose the path that I chose, because if I was a judge and I was in charge of your case, I would recommend death. And then I'd have some whiny fucking fairy behind me talking about, no, sir, you can't, Your Honor, you can't recommend that. Fuck you. Yes, I can. And I will. And if you don't like it, fuck being a goddamn judge. This system is broken. Like,
from just taking money from this account and moving it over into this private firm account as commission. How much money do you think he got? 100,000? Go 500,000?
oh.
$1.4 million just for moving this money over to the private firm.
And for those of you who don't know who Jordan Belfort is, there's a movie about him, Wolf of Wall Street, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. It's a fantastic movie. I suggest you watch it if you've never seen it.
That he worked for. That's it. Just taking A to B. And they were so fucking happy. They were like, oh my God, thanks for, oh my God. $9.4 million. Thank you for $9.4 million that you.
Whoever runs the business of the account that he was putting money into, did y'all not do any due diligence? Like, how is this Army Reserve Major? Not even Army Reserve, not even Major. How is this Army person making this much money? How is this person in the armed forces depositing this much money? You greedy fucks. Did y'all not think to question? Did y'all not think to do any due diligence? Did y'all not think to maybe investigate and be like, I know Uncle Sam isn't paying these motherfuckers that much money. There's just no way, because if that's the case, I might as well join the service. Good Lord.
You illegally stole and transferred from Gold Star families. Thank you for that $9.4 million. Here's $1.4 million for you. I'm sorry. It was $9.9 million. Almost $10 million. That he got $1.4 million.
And hopefully this bank, or this banking establishment that he deposited these funds to, they should be ordered by the government to return all of this money. Like, subpoena those fuckers and everything.
For just moving around.
I don't know the legality that goes into that, but that's what should fucking happen.
It's right. Fucking pennies, right, Crappy? Hey, you gave me $100,000. I'm gonna try and invest this so every year you get $10,000 or around that. Growth. 10% growth is pretty good. This guy, out of the 9.9 million, lost 3.4. His overall portfolio for all these investments that he got to keep 1.4 million for. He lost a third of it. A third of it. This is why I hate the Wolf of Wall Street. Everyone's like, oh, you're so cool, he's a badass. He fucking stole millions of dollars from hardworking families. Fuck him. Fuck this guy. You get paid 1.4 million to lose $3.4 million? Oh,
that's because the business that he invested in didn't give a fuck about the loss. They only saw that 9.9 million, and it was it was a profit for them regardless whether he lost that money or not. They didn't give a shit because they're just as soulless and greedy.
Of which you stole from Gold Star families. Oh, there is a special place in hell. You ready for this? You ready for this heartless piece of shit? He took $50,000 from a minor. That's right. A child. An innocent child. This fucking turd looked down at this kid, this soulless heap of dung, of bile and lizard excrement, looked down with his forked tongue at a toddler, whatever, a kid under 17, and said, "Oh, Daddy Dad gave you money? Give me money. Give me your $50,000 money, and I will gladly lose it for you and keep some for myself, though." This guy is the epitome of that South Park episode where you...
He's the epitome of trash. Really. Literally, the epitome of trash. They really should change the definition of trash in the dictionary and just put this guy's face in the fucking dictionary. This guy's trash.
Lose money every time you put it in the bank. Except he's the bank.
We can put that check in a money market mutual fund. Then we'll reinvest the earnings into foreign currency accounts with compounding interest, and it's gone.
This man is a fucking predator. He's on the same level as a child abuser, a fucking kitty diddler. He's looking around with his snake eyes and his forked tongue, tasting the air, waiting to see a wounded widow and her kin to just constrict them like a boa constrictor and squeeze all the fucking money he can out of them. He lost a third of all the investment money, and he's...
This guy's going to Leavenworth. If he's not already there. And when he gets to Leavenworth, bro, this kind of crime at Leavenworth will get you fucked up. There's plenty of soldiers at Fort Leavenworth that are there for war crimes. There's plenty of soldiers that are at Leavenworth for beating the shit out of their NCO, or beating the shit out of their spouse, or killing a dog, or something like that, or just doing something fucking crazy. Murder. There's plenty of, there's all kinds of shit, right? But this kind of crime, like Angry Cop said, is on the same level as a child predator. Stealing from dead people's families. And not just dead people, dead soldiers. Those other inmates at Fort Leavenworth are going to look at you, and the next thing that's going to happen is they're going to swiftly whoop your fucking ass. And I hope you don't survive that ass whooping. You goddamn piece of shit.
Still gets $1.4 million. Somebody's got to find this for me. I couldn't find it.
Better be glad I'm not in charge of the law. You'd be dead already.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
How are these
Like Donald Trump told fucking Hillary Clinton, because you'd be in jail. Like I'm telling this guy, better be glad I'm not in charge of the law. You'd be dead.
people getting their money back? Are they getting their money back?
They goddamn
Is there
better.
a fund to help these people get their money back? Is there a group, an entity, a non-for-profit that can try and assist some of these families who lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because one piece of living shit bamboozled them when he was supposed to have helped them? Holy shit. I know the Army's probably waiting for all the legal jargon and nonsense to go through so that he's charged and put in prison for them to decommission his ass and kick him out and whatever.
No, they need to decommission him now. Strip him of his rank now. And not just down to second lieutenant. E-fucking-1. Put him as enlisted. Strip him of everything fucking now. Dishonorable discharge. 50 years in fucking prison. I recommend goddamn death. But now. Don't wait for all the legal process. Do it now. Give him 3 Article 15s in a row. You can strip his rank like that.
But where do we get the money back? I mean, I'm sure he spent that 1.4 million. I'm sure he doesn't have 1.4 million left in his house. I mean, sell all of his assets for one. Sell all of his assets. Let's do math. Let's do math real quick, right? 9.9 million. Out of the 9.9 million, 3.4 was lost. Whoop. Let's erase that 9 million. Put 3.4. Very good. He made 1.4. This is what you have to pay back. 3.4. He made 1.4. Let's say that we sell all of his assets, his cars, his stocks, which are probably useless anyway because he doesn't know how to fucking do his own job. He lost a third of all the money that he invested. What a fucking idiot. You could put it all in McDonald's and Burger King for fucking 500 years and you'd still make 10% growth over that time. What a douche. High risk, no reward, this guy. But let's say that we get that $1.4 million back, all right? All right, so now we owe 3.4 minus 1.4, 2 million. We owe.
I mean, yeah, government can sell all his shit. They can take all of his shit. They can seize all of his shit. Because to them, anything, it doesn't matter to them what he had before he got all this money. They're going to take it all. And I hope they fucking do. Take his fucking house, take his goddamn clothes. You know what? Get petty, take his fucking toothbrush. I don't give a shit. Fuck this guy.
$2 million back. How can we get that $2 million back for this family? For these families, for these dozens and dozens and dozens of families. I'm looking at you, Army. This was a guy that you put in charge of trying to make good financial decisions from the Army Survivor Outreach Service, part of the Casualty Assistance Office. Where's your response to this? Are you just gonna say, oh, we're so sorry that one of our soldiers took advantage of your family? You're shit out of luck because he tricked you? Wow.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Army actually said that. That's not surprising at all. The Army doesn't give a fuck. Army doesn't give a fuck about nobody.
While serving under the fucking United States Army banner?
The Army doesn't give a fuck about its living soldiers. You really think they're gonna give a fuck about the dead ones? But maybe they might do something. They might extend some kind of help. AER is a good way. It won't fix the problem in its entirety. And back in my day, I refused to donate to AER, but AER is a start, I guess. It wouldn't it probably wouldn't return not even a fraction of what was lost, but it's a start. And for those of you that don't know what AER stands for, it stands for Army Emergency Relief.
While walking up and shaking hands and say, hey, let's move these funds around in uniform? That's what I want to know. Who's fixing this? Because this son of a bitch better be breaking fucking rocks for the rest of his life. A maximum of 20 years every fucking year. Every fucking year he deserves. Holy shit. I swear to God, I hope the burliest, fucking roided out,
Same.
Whatever race he likes the least is his cellmate. And he just pounds him. He just bends him over the bed nightly. And
at Fort Leavenworth, I'm telling you, bro, this kind of crime is the equivalent of touching kids. This kind of crime is the equivalent of beating the shit out of an elderly person. This kind of crime, you will get looked down upon in prison, and you will get dealt with in prison. Yeah, I hope you don't survive whatever attack comes your way while you're in fucking prison. And maybe one of these days, if I'm feeling fucking froggy, maybe I'm just up for a road trip. I know I'm going to outlive you for sure. Hopefully one day I'm just bored and I want to take a road trip somewhere and I just stop by wherever you're buried and I'm just going to take a massive shit wherever you're buried at.
Opens him up until rings bust out of his cornhole like Sonic the Hedgehog so we can repay those families back. Send this video to the Casualty Assistance Office. We gotta know. What's the plan? What's the plan, Casualty Assistance Office? How you gonna assist these fucking families with casualties when your guy's stealing their money? I wanna know where that $2 million is gonna come from. Well, I wanna know where the 3.4 is gonna come from.
It should come from the goddamn government. Man, he was operating on behalf of the government. He was doing all this shit in fucking uniform. It should come from the fucking government. I mean, if we have $11 million to send to Iran for goddamn garbage-ass gender studies, we have $3 million to give to these goddamn families. If we have millions of fucking dollars to do a whole bunch of stupid, dumb, retarded shit that this country usually fucking does, especially under this goddamn administration, then we have enough money to give to these fucking families. All right? I just know we do. And if you don't have it, print more. That's what you always do, right, America? That's what you always do. Right, government? That's what you always do. Right, Capitol Hill? Print more and give it to these goddamn families.
I want it all covered. Yeah, we're gonna take his money, whatever's left of it. I want it all covered. Oh, I'm hot. Disgusting. That's it. If you want to support the channel, download War Thunder. Hit the link below.
Okay. Oh yeah. Fuck this guy. I hope you get your ass whipped so bad in prison that you don't survive it. And then in the future, I hope I find out where you're buried and I'm gonna go take a shit on your fucking headstone, which you don't even deserve a goddamn headstone. We should give you the goddamn Osama bin Laden treatment and just dump you in the fucking ocean unceremoniously. So your stupid goddamn worthless fucking carcass can just